Hey guys, it is Brido here, and welcome back to episode 10 of our New York Islanders Be a GM series. In today's episode, we have 4 games for you, along with a couple trades as well, including this one right here, where we pick up Chris Tanev, a guy that's going to be able to be used probably in our 6D role type of scenario, and also as a scratch from time to time too. I just wanted to pick up a couple guys, and really no major changes. These are the ones that I did before I started rebooting this series up beforehand, just because I wanted to give us a couple extra guys that were younger and that, not necessarily major players that can make an impact, but if we get some injuries, they can step into the lineup. We're not really using guys that I don't want to use, so trying to fill in that farm a little bit more and bring in a couple extra guys as well that can have an impact for the team nonetheless. So starting off this episode, we have that going on there, and we're playing the Anaheim Ducks as well, a team that I think is doing pretty well in the West. You can see there that they've been 5-5 in the last 10 games, but I believe they're kind of sitting around in the playoff spots. For us, we've been doing pretty good to start the season, and this is the second episode that we're playing with 2 players, so still getting kind of the hang of it, but in this episode you'll see us, start to get an idea of controlling the play a little bit more together and using both, one another to really create plays. One of the things I talked about in the last episode was the fact that when you play with someone else, it can be a fun experience, but a lot of times you realize that your own game is really set on the way you play and not reacting with someone else. So at first it was kind of a tough start because we're really trying to figure out where our comfort zone was with that, and after that we started to be able to find each other from time to time. Here though was a goal for Anaheim. Nothing he could really do there, as that was a play that he was just trying to get away from the player and he lost the puck, ended up in a breakaway, and no chance of that one missing the net. We try and get back in this one later on in the second period. Not able to do it though, and we'll be going into the third with a 1-0 lead for Anaheim there. Not a lot of shots, as you can see, because I still have the game clock set for 5 minutes, just because trying to get through these games and not really extend them for longer than they need to be. And also I want to at least get a season done before NHL 14 comes out, because we have troubles putting up these episodes, and I know that you guys really enjoy the series, and I really appreciate the patience with me posting these up, because sometimes it does take longer than I say I'm going to do. And no, I really appreciate you guys enjoying and still watching the series, so I'll try my best to get these up, and I mean, hopefully I can get on a bit of roll and really get some done. Just has to do, a lot of times with whether I'm having a lot of work going on or other endeavors are going on too sometimes that kind of block me from getting these done. And out of all the videos I do, I really find the hockey videos probably to be the hardest ones to edit, because there's so much gameplay to get down to, and especially these ones, like a 4-game episode is nothing to sneeze at, but when you have an 82-game season, that's a lot of games there for you to play through. So in that case here, you can see that we are not going to get the win. It is a 2-0 loss for us, but still overall a pretty solid game. Just couldn't get the chance that we needed to really have a big impact in this one. But we'll move on from this one though to, I believe, a game for our AHL team, the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. And I think this is good to show still, because just giving you guys an idea of how our players are, doing in the AHL. And I do, pay attention to it. I do really pay attention to how these players do, because it's important to kind of know who's doing well. And it's kind of adding to the story elements of the series as well, when you're able to call up a guy that has a good, a good game overall. Our team's been doing alright, but I really haven't been extremely impressed with how they've been playing, so I'm going to try and add a couple more guys into the mix as well, hopefully to help that out too. But, that's neither here nor there, and I've also talked about potential guys that you guys like to see on the team. I think in this episode specifically, we make 3 trades, and for my memory serving me right, I haven't checked most recently what the most recent trade was, but I think all the trades that we did were in this episode. I'm still totally open to your ideas on who you'd like to see added to the team, and it would be more around the 50-game mark or so when that happens, but I'll definitely take those opinions, guys. And yeah, I think the one other one that we'll make is a little bit later on. That's a bigger deal just because of injuries, but besides from that, these are just trades trying to add some small players in that can have an impact and kind of grow with the team as we get deeper into this. And here, starting off the game against Detroit, Stephen Weiss, who's been a pretty good player for us in that second line center role, but really not really contributing on the goals department, gets a bit of a sketchy goal there, as he has a little bit of interference run on the goalkeeper there, but still is able to get the goal, and that one counts. But Datsuk there scores a real nice one for Detroit to get the game tied at 1-1 at the 6-minute mark there of the first period. And whenever he's got a chance like that, you kind of have a feeling like that's going to go in. And here's a terrible giveaway, and luckily for us, we don't pay for that one. But that was one of the things too where you know, when you're working with someone, you usually, when you have the CPU, right, the CPU sits back and lets you have an option to pass. A lot of times when you're playing with two people, everybody just wants to run up the ice, everybody wants to get into the play, and that runs into, every once in a while, a terrible giveaway like that, where you're looking at the play and you're like, oh, well, now it is a 3-on-0, and those are usually disasters. That one, though, luckily for us, didn't turn into a disaster in the end. Still, though, a close game, and here Tavares trying to cut in another play that is a little bit iffy, and I'm very happy with the ref in this game because we had 2 goals that very well should have probably been disallowed goals for goalie interference, but luckily for us, guys, no doing there, as we're still getting those 2 goals, and the Detroit fans are probably not too happy with that. They're able to get another goal there, and that one, just one of those situations where you're just kind of sitting right at the front of the net, can't get the puck cleared. They get multiple chances. Markstrom's just kind of flailing around. We try and get some in the go. Not able to do that, though. Here's a big save by Jimmy Howard, though. A great one by him there, and keeping this game tied at 2-2. And Franz Nielsen gets all the way through the D there. Pretty nice goal by him, and that's his 3rd goal of the season. So we're now back up 1 goal up ahead again, and is now 3-2 at the halfway mark of the 2nd period. And continuing on here, though, another little giveaway here. They take their time with it, and they find right in the middle Johan Franzen. He gets the goal. This game is a back and forth game. Lots of goals going either way, and a lot of mistakes on our part, especially for our goals, resulting in us getting goals scored against us. And there, an absolute beautiful goal there for Datsuk. It was hilarious. My brother wanted to get the icing, I think. I'm not sure what he was doing. I absolutely lambasted him, though, on that one because it's pretty funny. He just, you know, probably looking for the pass, turned right at the last second, missed the puck completely, and that ended up in a giveaway, which just kind of puts the cherry on the cake for 3 goals that probably shouldn't have happened. And feel free to lament in the comments about those. But still, you know what? Gives some flavor to this series and gives the New York Islanders a little bit of a stress call, because they're, you know, a team that we've had a pretty good start to the season. We don't want them to be doing that great, right? We want to see this team in that rebuilding zone. We want to see them do good too, but we don't want to, you know, just have them all the way to the cup right away. So it's nice to see a little bit of stress here and there from the team. Here, though, we're able to get that goal to get the tie halfway through the 3rd. It is 4-4 now, so 8 goals in this game, and we're having a bit of a scoring showdown here. Lots of action either way, and it does not stop, though, as continued chances from Detroit. They're trying to get that goal, that one more to give them the lead. There's a great chance. Markstrom making the save, though. We kept him in the net. We didn't pull him at any point. He's able to make a couple big saves there, too, and just not able to get anything to go right there. But here's an opportunity where they cut back, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd, though. So we're going to go to overtime, see what happens in the OT. You can see that we have not done that much in the OT periods. We've only played 1 game, and we won that one. Our shootout record, though, is a bit abysmal, as you've seen previously. Not the best shootout player regarding me. My brother's a little bit better, but still, it's one of those things that not always are we getting those great shootout opportunities. There was the one big chance of the game that I tried to deke the guy, and was able to do that, but nothing coming of that one there. So we're going to the shootout, the much maligned shootout for us here. And starting off this one, I'm going to make a good old fool of myself as I lose the puck, try and just get it back, but the whistle's called on me there, so that isn't going to do anything for us. Datsuk completely fools Markstrom there, no chance for him. And similar to that icing play, I was getting some lament from my brother there after making that bad mistake. He tries to get one for us there, though, not able to do that. Zetterberg getting the chance here. Now it is all on me. Matt Molson with the opportunity here. I'm going to go the other way, see if I can get something to go here. He's going to do a little spinorama, takes the shot, but not even able to get it off as Jimmy Howard poke checks out one away. So that is a shootout loss, so 2 losses to start this episode. Not the best episode overall for actual results. A crazy game, though. 5 goals. You can see Detroit got plenty of shots there, 31 to be exact. We're going to go back to the AHL, where Bridgeport continually not doing that great in this, and you can see in this one, too, another loss. They still have a pretty good record, but it's going to be something that I want to shake up a little bit, and I will do that as well, as we're going to add Cam Atkinson to the team from the Columbus Blue Jackets. I think that was just for some, I think it was Mark Katic, or some D-man, I don't know for sure. I'll double check for the next episode if you guys want to know exactly, but what I did is I made a small trade for a little bit of a speedy winger that we could bring up those injuries, because we're starting to get into some injury trouble from time to time, and I thought maybe he'd be able to be a good minor scorer for us, so we picked him up in hopes of that and moved on to our game here against Pittsburgh, where Markstrom is getting the start once again. Had a little bit of a rough game there last game, but we can't really blame him for the goals that were scored against, as those were goals that really he had no business in saving because we just gave up terrible chances. So hopefully we're going into this one trying to, break the little bit of a losing streak that we have here. Johnny T goes into the middle, gets a great goal there, and that's his 11th for the season. So we start off the game pretty strong, an early goal for us there. That's always a good start to have, and going from there we get an icing right off the play. But continuing on, here's a little bit of a dangling, a little bit of a chance there, and a save by Fleury, another chance right there, another save by Fleury. So we're really getting most of the chances in this first half. Johnny T with another chance there, thought that might go in, and another terrible giveaway by the D-man there. So that's probably the main problem that we had overall in this episode, is that we were playing great, but we kept giving up goals. We kept getting goals too. So it was a little bit of a give and go overall, but there was definitely some work to be done on the D for us here. And that really just comes from passing up the boards rather than just passing up the middle. But you'll see a little bit of that improvement when we get to future episodes, because we've already played more in this and gotten into that groove a little bit more after some of these games. We'll move to the second period, though. We still have that 2-1 lead. We're going to want to build on that, though, so we continue to get our own opportunities here, trying to continue to see if we can get another goal on the board. But Pittsburgh's going to get a good chance here early in the second, and James Neal with the tap in gets this game back to 2-2. We're going to move ahead, though, a little bit later into the 12th minute here, as another chance, a big save, and a little bit of a clear on the side of the net there. Pittsburgh really trying to turn around. They actually start getting more of the opportunities and are working in here on the 5-on-3, get the puck moving around. Lovejoy from the point gets the goal. It deflects off Kennedy, and there is now a 3-2 lead for Pittsburgh. So another game that looks like it's not going our way. And right off the face-off, they get another chance, and it is a goal as well. James Neal with another one in this game. 4-2. Frustrations are definitely high here. A chance right at the end of the second to see if we can get a goal there, but the whistle will blow, so unfortunately nothing will come of that one there. But we're going to go into the third period here, see if we can get something going, see if we can pull out at least a point out of this game, because we're on that skid right now. Don't want to keep that going. And there's another save by Markstrom, but we move ahead to the 9th minute here. Martin with the chance, a save by Fleury. Now in the 3rd minute, really no big opportunities in this game for the 3rd period, that is. And another chance there, Vishnowsky with a lot of space, not able to get something to go there. Niskanen, though, puts that goal away. That is the final nail in the coffin for this game, guys, as we'll lose another game. A 5-2 loss this time around, and that puts us at 0-2-1 in this episode. So we're coming back down to earth a little bit, but that's alright. And you can see from the stats here that things were pretty even in this game. We just didn't get the goals that we wanted. Here's just showing some of the stats from the team. Vishnowsky being the top point getter for the team, Tavares, Molson, and Grabner being the top goal scorers currently for the New York Islanders. And here's a trade that was offered to us for Mike Weaver. He really was a guy that was kind of just on the fringes. I thought, you know what, why not? We'll just let him go, get the 3rd round pick, because we brought in Tanev from Vancouver anyway, and might as well just use that 3rd instead of having him as a scratch, which was a little bit redundant because obviously we made that trade beforehand, but we traded for Tanev, a similar player, and we traded similar scraps for him essentially. In this case for Weaver, a guy that we can probably easily replace. We actually get a 3rd round pick. So in that type of aspect, I thought, okay, this is a pick that we can use in the draft coming up, and also something that is a little bit more worthwhile. So if we need to really bring in our D-man, I can, but we do have other D-men that can be brought into the team. Weaver's an older guy. We don't need him around, and you know that 3rd round pick can be used for something. So we'll go into the last game of this episode. Is against the New Jersey Devils. Markstrom getting the start here for this one as well. Just trying to ride him because he's really our future goalie that we want to have playing most of our games. So why not give him the opportunities when we can? And he hasn't been playing bad per se. Just obviously us having a little bit of struggles to really get our opportunities going. Here, though, McDonald, a guy that, you know, isn't really supposed to get that many goals. He's already got 5 on the season. Pretty great contributions from him thus far. And happy to see him get the goal early on in this game. Here, though, is a giveaway that is going to prove deadly almost, as it just narrowly goes wide. And the first period will end. We've got the 1-0 lead in this. And feels good because the first period wasn't too hectic. We really kept the chances down, and that was probably the best thing that we could do after going on this bit of a slide here, is we wanted to just try and keep this game calm, get a couple goals, and ride it out at that point. There was a chance right there for Strome to see if he can get something to go in the net, but that one just goes wide. Here, though, is a little bit of a frustration, as that play is just essentially a pinball machine effect, as the puck somehow finds its way into the net. That goal is given to Kovalchuk in the second period, late in the second period. The game is now tied 1-1 going into the third. And the pressure is back on, because we know that we do not want to lose this game. And we're going to see if we can try and get that second goal here. And here's a chance for John Tavares. He nearly poke checks the goal in, but just not able to do it. I love when those happen, because they're very rare and odd to see go in, but not able to get that one to go. And David Clarkson with a goal for New Jersey Devils in the 13th minute of the third period. So we're now behind the 8 ball. 7 minutes left. Stephen Weiss, though, gets a goal for us again, a 5th goal of the season. So he's starting to get a couple goals there. Nice to see him doing that. And a very crucial goal for us here, as we're running out of time in the 7th minute, able to get that one. Very important for us. And that's going to run us all the way to OT. So we're going to go to OT once again, the second time in this episode. See if we can fare a little bit better in this one, though. You can see from the stats, this game wasn't too hectic. We got 18 shots, they got 11. Not a lot of shots going both ways, but still, there was good chances. You can see that both sides got a couple pretty nice goals. One that was a little bit lucky from New Jersey, but nonetheless, this game went to OT. And in the late stages, we're trying to get something there, but Brodeur standing up is not going to give that one away. In the last seconds of this one, though, we have a chance to put it away, and not able to get that goal there with Molson, unfortunately. So we're going to be going to this shootout. As we said, once again, the dreaded shootout. But in this one, the tables will turn a little bit, as you'll see. I'm usually the one that is not able to get the shootout goals. My brother is the one that I rely on to get those nice goals. And Kovalchuk there, getting the goal to start off the shootout. So we need to get something going here. Johnny T gets the goal, though, to keep this game tied in the shootout. Now Zajac coming in with the chance, dangling around, trying to get something just wide. Now up to Visnovsky, seeing if he can get something here. Does a little bit of a dangle, but not able to get that one under the pads of Martin Brodeur. And David Clarkson trying to get a goal there to put them on top. Now Matt Molson needs to score, or else we're going to go out of this episode with no wins. But he will get a goal too. The shootout is back tied. Here's Green with a chance, saved by Markstrom. And Weiss with a chance to put this game away. Is he going to be able to do it? Back and forth, not able to. Brodeur with the save. Zubris now with the opportunity. Can he get the goal to put the pressure back on? The answer is no. Cam Atkinson, though, the young minor scorer, we bring him into this game, and he gets his first goal. Not an official goal, but a shootout goal nonetheless to give us the win in this one, guys. And that'll be the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed. I cannot say for sure when the next episode will be, but I'll try and get up within the week or so and continue this series onward. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, though, and stay tuned for more in the future. Thanks, guys, for watching.